What if the secret to making better decisions was hidden in a 2,000-year-old philosophy? Welcome to Daily Stoic Habits, where we dive into timeless wisdom to transform your life. Today, we're cracking open the art of decision-making through the lens of Stoicism, a philosophy that's guided emperors, thinkers, and everyday folks through life's toughest choices. Picture yourself standing at a crossroads, the weight of a big decision pressing down, your heart's racing, your mind's a mess. How do you choose the right path? Stoicism, with its razor-sharp focus on what you can control, might just be the compass you need. Let's rewind to ancient Rome, where Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, scribbled thoughts in his journal, not for fame, but to wrestle with his own doubts. Or Seneca, a philosopher who faced exile and betrayal, yet stayed calm under pressure. Then there's Epictetus, a former slave who taught that true freedom lies in mastering your mind. These Stoics weren't just theorizing, they lived their principles, making decisions that shaped history. Their ideas aren't dusty old texts. They're a playbook for navigating the chaos of modern life, from career moves to personal dilemmas. Decisions are everywhere. Every day you're bombarded with choices, some small, like what to eat for lunch, others massive, like whether to take that job across the country. In a world of endless notifications, opinions, and noise, it's easy to feel paralyzed. Ever found yourself second-guessing, stuck in a loop of what-ifs? That's where Stoicism shines. It's not about ignoring emotions, but taming them, focusing only on what's in your power and letting go of the rest. This philosophy doesn't promise a perfect life, but it equips you to face any storm with clarity and confidence. So how can Stoicism help you make decisions that don't just feel right in the moment, but stand the test of time? In this video, we'll explore the core Stoic principles that sharpen your judgment, practical techniques to apply them, and how they can transform the way you approach life's toughest calls. If you're ready to level up your decision-making game, hit that subscribe button for Daily Stoic Habits and ring the bell to never miss an update. Let's dive into the wisdom of the Stoics and unlock the art of choosing wisely. Imagine standing in the midst of a storm, chaos swirling around you, yet your mind remains steady, anchored by a single truth: not everything is in your hands. This is the heartbeat of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us to zero in on what we can control and let go of what we can't. At its core, this principle shapes how we make decisions, cutting through the noise of doubt and distraction. Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius to Seneca to Epictetus, didn't just preach this idea, they lived it, facing empires, exile, and personal trials with unshakable clarity. The genius of Stoicism lies in its simplicity. Life throws countless variables at us: other people's actions, unexpected setbacks, even the weather. Trying to control these is like wrestling with the wind, futile and exhausting. Instead, Stoicism urges us to focus inward on our thoughts, actions, and choices. When faced with a tough call, say, whether to speak up in a heated meeting or stay silent, the Stoic asks, what can I control here? My words, my intent, my composure, the outcome. That's out of my hands. This mindset strips away anxiety, letting us approach decisions with a clear head. Beyond this foundation, Stoicism offers a moral compass through its 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Wisdom is the art of seeing things clearly, weighing options without bias or panic. Picture a CEO deciding whether to lay off staff during a crisis. Wisdom guides her to cut through emotions and assess the facts. Justice ensures decisions align with fairness, not just personal gain. Would it be right to prioritize profits over people? Courage steps in when the choice is tough, but necessary, like standing up to a toxic boss, even if it risks your job. Temperance keeps us balanced, preventing rash moves driven by greed or fear. Together, these virtues act like guardrails, steering decisions toward what's rational and good. Reason is the Stoics' greatest tool. But it's not about being a cold, calculating machine. Emotions are real. They hit hard and fast. The Stoics didn't deny this. They mastered it. Epictetus taught that it's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Say you're offered a risky career change. Your gut screams fear. Your heart races with excitement. A Stoic pauses, examines those feelings, and asks, are these signals or noise? If by grounding decisions in reason, not fleeting emotions, you choose with clarity, not impulse. It's like navigating a ship through. Fog reason is your compass, emotions just the waves. History shows us how the Stoics applied this in real life. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire under constant threat, faced daily decisions that could mean life or death. His private writings reveal a man wrestling with choices, reminding himself to focus on what's just and within his power. When deciding whether to wage war, he didn't let anger or pride cloud his judgment. He leaned on wisdom and temperance, asking what served the greater good. Seneca, exiled by a volatile emperor, had to decide how to respond, bitter defiance or dignified acceptance. He chose the latter, using reason to preserve his integrity. Epictetus, once a slave, faced the ultimate test of control. Couldn't change his chains, but he could shape his mind, choosing to see his hardship as a chance to grow. Their lives weren't easy, but their decisions were deliberate. Rooted in principle, this Stoic approach isn't just for ancient philosophers. For anyone staring down a tough choice, whether you're picking a career path, resolving a family conflict, or even deciding how to handle a bad day, the Stoic framework holds up. Distinguish what you can control, lean on the four virtues, and let reason guide you. It's not about perfection, but progress a way to make choices that align with who you want to be. No matter what life throws your way, life's toughest decisions often feel like standing at the edge of a cliff. The wind howling, urging you to leap or retreat. Stoicism doesn't eliminate the fear. It gives you tools to face it with clarity. These practical techniques, rooted in ancient wisdom, can transform how you approach choices, from the mundane to the monumental. Let's dive into for Stoic. Practices that sharpen your decision-making, each paired with real-world scenarios to show them in action. First up is premeditatio malorum, or the art of negative visualization. Picture this. You're about to pitch a big idea to your boss. Your stomach churns. What if they hate it? What if you fumble your words? The Stoics would say lean into that fear. Before the meeting, sit down and imagine every possible disaster. Your boss rejects the idea flat out. Your colleagues snicker. You feel humiliated. Now, plan your response. You'll stay calm, thank them for feedback, and refine the pitch later. By rehearsing the worst-case scenario, you strip it of its power. It's not about pessimism, but preparation. Seneca practiced this daily, mentally bracing for loss or betrayal to stay steady when real crises hit. In your life, this could mean prepping for a tough conversation with a friend. What if they get angry? You'll listen, keep your cool, and focus on what's fair. This technique builds a mental shield, so when stakes are high, say deciding whether to invest your savings, you're ready for any outcome, not paralyzed by what-ifs. Next, there's the view from above, a Stoic exercise that zooms out to put your decisions in perspective. Imagine yourself rising above the earth, seeing your life as a tiny speck in the vast tapestry of humanity. Marcus Aurelius used this too. Stay grounded while ruling an empire. Your big decision, like whether to relocate for a job, feels less overwhelming when you see it against the sweep of time and space. Is this move the end-all be-all, or just one chapter in a long story? This perspective cuts through emotional fog. Take Sarah, a marketing manager deciding whether to take a risky promotion. The pressure's intense, more responsibility, longer hours. She tries the view from above, picturing her life 5, 10, 20 years out. Will this choice define her? Forever? Probably not. The stakes feel lower, and she chooses based on growth, not fear. You can do this too. Before deciding whether to end a relationship, step back. In the grand scheme, is staying or leaving what aligns with your values? This technique doesn't shrink your problems, it expands your clarity. Then there's the discipline of living in the present. The Stoics, especially Epictetus, hammered this point. You can't change the past, and the future isn't here yet. Why waste energy on either? Focus on now. Say you're debating whether to confront a coworker who's slacking. Your mind races last. Weeks missed, deadline stings, and you dread future tension. A Stoic would stop you. What's in your control right now? You can choose your words and tone in this moment. Let go of yesterday's frustration and tomorrow's hypotheticals. This focus is liberating. Consider Jake, a freelancer deciding whether to take a low-paying gig. He's tempted to dwell on past rejections or worry about future finances. Instead, he zeroes in on the present. Does this job align with his goals today? By staying present, he decides with confidence, not regret. You can apply this when choosing how to spend your evening scrolling social media or reading a book. What's the best use of this moment? That's all that matters. Finally, there's reflective journaling, a Stoic staple for refining decisions. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations was essentially his journal, a space to dissect his thoughts and choices. After a tough day, grab a notebook and ask, what decisions did I make? Were they rational? What could I improve? This isn't self-criticism, but self-awareness. Take Lisa, a nurse deciding whether to switch hospitals. She journals nightly, noting her reasons. Better hours, closer to home. Her fear is leaving familiar colleagues. Writing clarifies her priorities, and she chooses with conviction. You can do this after a work meeting where you hesitated to speak up. Why did you stay quiet? Was it caution or cowardice? Next time, you're prepared to act. Journaling turns decisions into lessons, building a habit of deliberate choice. These techniques aren't abstract. They're practical tools for everyday life. Picture a single mom, Maria, deciding whether to go back to school. She uses premeditatio malorum, imagining failing a course or struggling financially. She plans. She study evenings and budget tightly. The view from above reminds her this degree is one step in a long life, easing her stress. Staying present, she focuses on applying today, not fretting about graduation years away. Her journal tracks her doubts and resolves, keeping her grounded. Or consider Tom, a small business owner, debating whether to expand. Negative visualization preps him for supply chain issues. Zooming out, he sees his business as one part of a bigger legacy. He stays present, focusing on current data, not past failures. Journaling helps him weigh risks nightly, leading to a measured decision. Each technique builds on the Stoic core. Control what you can, release what you can't. Whether you're choosing a career path, navigating a family feud, or picking your next step after a setback, these practices negative visualization. The view from above, living in the present, and reflective journaling offer a roadmap. They don't guarantee perfect outcomes, but they ensure your decisions are thoughtful, aligned with your values, and resilient to life's unpredictability. Practice them, and you'll find yourself not just deciding, but deciding well. Applying Stoicism to decision-making sounds like a game changer until you hit the wall of real life. Emotions flare, social pressures weigh heavy, and patience wears thin. These challenges can make even the best-intentioned Stoic falter. But Stoicism doesn't just point out the path. It equips you to push through obstacles, offering practical ways to stay steady. Let's unpack the common hurdles, how Stoicism tackles them, how it stacks up against other decision-making methods, and the long-term rewards of sticking with it. First, the hurdles. Emotions are the big one. You're deciding whether to quit. A toxic job, an anger at your boss, or fear of financial ruin clouds your judgment. It's human to feel these things. Stoicism doesn't ask you to be a robot. Then there's social pressure. Friends urge you to stay in a bad relationship because it's not that bad. Or colleagues push you to take a sketchy shortcut at work. Conformity tugs hard. You want clarity now whether to move cities or invest in a risky venture. But Stoic practices like journaling or visualizing worst-case scenarios take time. In a world of instant gratification, that delay feels brutal. Stoicism meets these challenges head-on with disciplined practice. 4. Runaway emotions. It leans on reason as an anchor. Epictetus said, "Our distress comes from how we judge events, not the events themselves." So, when rage or fear spikes like during a heated argument over a family decision, pause. Ask, what's in my control? You can't change their reaction, but you can choose calm, measured words. This takes repetition. Start small, maybe with a minor annoyance like a delayed flight. Practice stepping back, breathing, and focusing on your response. Over time, this builds a reflex for clarity under pressure. Social pressure is trickier. It's you against the crowd. Stoicism counters with the virtue of justice, urging decisions that align with what's right, not what's popular. Picture a whistleblower exposing corruption despite peer backlash. Marcus Aurelius faced this, defying courtiers' flattery to rule fairly. You can too. When friends pressure you to overspend on a group trip, use the view from above technique. Will this choice matter in 5 years? Probably not. Stand firm, guided by your values. It's not about being stubborn, but staying true to yourself. Impatience is the silent killer of Stoic practice. Journaling nightly or visualizing setbacks feels tedious when you're itching for a quick answer. Stoicism's answer is to embrace the grind. Seneca compared life to a craft. Mastery comes through daily effort. Set a routine, 5 minutes of reflection each evening, noting one decision and what drove it. Over weeks, this habit sharpens your thinking. Think of it like training for a marathon. Each step builds endurance. When deciding whether to take a new job, impatience might push you to say yes impulsively. A Stoic routine slows you down, ensuring you've weighed the risks. How does Stoicism compare to other decision-making methods? Take cost-benefit analysis, a staple in business. It's logical, listing pros and cons like salary versus commute time when choosing a job, but it's cold, often ignoring emotions or values. Stoicism integrates reason with virtue, asking not just what's practical, but what's right. Intuition, another approach, is fast and gut-driven. Deciding to trust a new partner might feel right instinctively, but intuition can be swayed by bias or mood. Stoicism tempers this with reflection, ensuring your gut aligns with reason. Unlike rigid frameworks or fleeting feelings, Stoicism balances head, heart, and principles, making it versatile for complex choices like ending a friendship or pivoting a career. The long-term payoff of Stoicism is profound: tranquility and confidence. By focusing on what you control, you shed the anxiety of outcomes. Imagine deciding to launch a startup. Stoic doesn't obsess over market crashes or competitors. They plan well, Act boldly and accept what comes. This serenity isn't passive, it's empowering. Confidence grows as you trust your process. Look at Seneca, who faced exile with composure, or Epictetus, who found freedom in a slave's life. Their decisions weren't perfect, but they were deliberate, leaving no room for regret. In your life, this might mean choosing to forgive a family member after journaling through your anger. The result? Peace. Knowing you acted with integrity. Real-world examples bring this home. Take Anna, a teacher deciding whether to confront a bullying colleague. Emotions run high: fear of conflict, anger at injustice. Social pressure tells her to stay quiet. Colleagues avoid rocking the boat. K. Impatience pushes for a snap decision. She turns to Stoicism. She visualizes the worst. The colleague lashes out, rumors spread. She plans her response, calm, factual, professional. Journaling clarifies her duty to her students, outweighing peer pressure. Staying present, she focuses on the confrontation itself, not future fallout. Her decision to speak up is tough but grounded, leaving her confident and calm. Or consider Mike, an entrepreneur debating a risky loan. Cost-benefit analysis says it's viable, but intuition screams caution. Stoic reflection reveals his fear is rooted in past failures, not facts. He chooses the loan, prepared for any outcome, and sleeps easy knowing he reasoned it through. These challenges, motions, social pressure, impatience, aren't unique to Stoicism. Any method demanding discipline faces them. But Stoicism's strength is its holistic approach, blending practical tools with a moral core. It doesn't promise quick fixes or perfect choices, just a way to decide with clarity and live with the results. Stick with it, and you'll find decisions become less daunting, or like opportunities to shape a life of purpose and peace. Life's decisions can feel like navigating a maze blindfolded. But Stoicism hands you a torch. This ancient philosophy, forged by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, isn't just old wisdom, it's a lifeline for making choices that stand strong against chaos. By focusing on what you control, leaning on virtues like wisdom and courage, and using tools like negative visualization or journaling, Stoicism transforms indecision into clarity. It's not about dodging tough calls, but facing them with a steady heart and a clear mind. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practicality. You don't need to be a philosopher to use it, just a person willing to try. Start small. Tonight, jot down one decision you made today and ask, was it rational? Tomorrow, when stress hits, pause and picture the worst outcome. Then plan your response. These habits build a mental muscle that makes every choice, whether it's a career leap or a family matter, feel less like a gamble and more like a step toward a meaningful life. Why settle for reacting when you can choose with purpose? Training your mind this way isn't just about better decisions. It's about crafting a life you respect. Each choice, guided by reason and virtue, becomes a brick in a foundation of tranquility and confidence. The Stoics knew this, facing empires in exile with resolve. You can too, turning everyday challenges into chances to grow stronger. Do too. Time constraints, we will stop here. I hope this video is useful to you. If it can help you even a little, I will feel very satisfied. Save the video to your playlist if you want to listen to it again at any time. Please like and share it with many people, because sometimes a timely message can change a life. Forget to subscribe to the Daily Stoic Habits channel. Click the notification bell so you don't miss the next valuable videos. Goodbye and see you again.